We are live. Yay. Evening, everybody. Amy will be right with us. She just had to go fix something. Welcome to another Sunday night Bible study, ministry update, and all that kind of good stuff. Here she comes.
I'm here. Couldn't find him this week.
I'm going to go ahead and hit this like button. I'm going to go ahead.
Over really far.
Hit that like button. I'll fix it.
How's that?
That's fine with me.
Hey, Bethany.
Hey, Beth. First I want to, make sure everybody knows that we are praying for all those impacted by the storms that have been going through. There's a lot of people that are without power, trying to figure things out. We understand what you're going through.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we live the way we do. So that we could, if you have questions, you could reach out. We can help you through stuff like that. As long as you have cell service and you can reach out. Plenty of people that have been sick also.
Mm-hmm.
We've been praying for y'all that have been sick. Because it's not fun when you're not feeling well. It's not fun when you're not feeling well, and the sheep don't care either.
No, they don't.
So that's not making light of any of it. The way we have to live, or the way we choose to live. That if we're not feeling well, or if the power's out, or no matter what is going on, the animals have to be taken care of. The one place I admit that where I fall down is in the morning. I put my coffee before the animals.
Unless you look out the window
and somebody's
out, and then your
then
whole
the day is shot.
Yeah. Don't talk to
them. And it's something I'm working on. I think I'm working on it. I'm at least trying to be better about it.
Yeah.
I still like my time in the morning, but here or there, we know there's a lot of issues going on in the country. I know we celebrated our 250th birthday as a country yesterday. And it struck me as odd. We did watch some of the things that were televised, and seeing people out and celebrating the country when, the last 6 years or so, even more, the people are constantly bashing the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it was kind of hard for me to watch and go through and all that kind of good stuff. Did we have fireworks? No. Did we go anywhere? No. But that is us.
You lost your greenhouse. Oh, no. From the storm?
Oh, no. From the storm, Beth?
Americans are fickle.
Yes, Americans are fickle. Yeah, I know you guys had a lot of wind and a lot of, stuff going on weather-wise.
No, my folks have not had power for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's not doing very well with it, from what I understand. I mean, I talked to her earlier today. I'll talk to her later on. So.
Right up today. Oh,
man.
I'm sorry.
That every time, and Ken will say this, I will look at the radar. It's like, are we going to close up the high tunnel? But I might want to go close up the high tunnel, because my thing is, like, I'm afraid if the sides are up, that the wind's just going to go whoosh and take it. So
today we're putting up chicken, and a storm started brewing. Amy went out to put up the side-by-side, and she's like, "Are you going to close it up?" I'm like, "No," but she did close the greenhouse when she was out there.
I did.
She closed the door and the little.
Well, all it was the door was open, and all I saw was, it's a little teeny greenhouse, so I'm afraid it's going to
But we haven't been having a lot of wind. Greg.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Greg's good at that kind of stuff. So this week, various things going on during the week. We were making a lot of things earlier in the week to be able to support the ministry with. I made some more sauerkraut. You made things such as...
I made more bread and yogurt.
Ice creams for us.
Yeah, I made a bunch of ice cream. But part of that is because I found... So Bethany... Remember there was that little Easter egg? I call it the Easter egg. They like... I am tired, sorry. They lay eggs outside of the pen, and we have to kind of try to find them. Well, I found another nest, not in the same spot, so I had to gather all those eggs, and I won't sell those because I don't know, how long they've been out. They haven't been out long. I do know that, but so I had to make ice cream out of them. So,
shucks. But yeah, we actually had Neapolitan.
We did because I
chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry.
I used strawberry powder in the strawberry.
Yes, in the strawberry. This is going to be a fun night. It's been a busy, hot week. It's the heat more than anything of all. It's the humidity. It wasn't a dry heat. But our irrigation system for the high tunnel came in, so I started putting that in. It's going well. It's not as great as I was hoping, but it's really working well as long as I can keep the pump motor functional. Friday we did start processing chickens. We did have a couple people over, which was nice. It went really well.
Yeah, it did.
We were done early.
We were done about a half hour earlier than we normally are.
Yeah, so that was good.
But we also tacked on a turkey.
Yeah, we did tack on a turkey, and we're going to get into that a little bit. But so we also on Friday we also had another tenant sign a lease, so they are officially in. So that's a big blessing. And Amy started filling the woodpecker holes in the cabins.
Yes.
So we get carpenter bees, and carpenter bees love the wood that's out here, and they like to eat our home and our cabins, and
the barn and everything.
And then the woodpeckers find the larvae, and they start pecking and start ripping apart the wood. And
I think it's also because there's not been a lot of activity down at the cabins. It's been pretty
quiet since February.
And that's very unusual. We're usually, we have long-term renters or short-term but I don't know, for some reason it was
we were in a desert.
Yes, a very big desert.
But we're coming out of the desert.
It's like an oasis out there.
Let's see. Amy started making a blackberry roll with some of our blackberries from our thornless blackberry plant.
So we watched one of our homesteaders that we usually watch, the Holler Homestead, and she had Meg. She had a ton of blueberries, and then she was making bread and stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that with blueberries. And I'm going to try to make
blackberries.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry. See, I'm telling you, I'm tired. So I pretty much just kind of like watched what she did, and
it's like a cinnamon roll, but with blackberries or blueberries.
So I rolled out the sourdough, and then I made a sheep milk, just a cheese, like a
cream cheese.
A cream cheese, yeah. So I put that down, and then I made the blackberries. I simmered them on the stove, added a little cornstarch, a little bit of sugar, and that turned into a nice, I don't know, not a gravy, but it was thicker. So I put that on, rolled it all up, cut them up, and put them in a pan, let them rise, and we had those for breakfast. Yeah. They were really good.
I also worked on the laundry room light, because that was all messed up.
It was, but you actually fixed it better than what it was when before we bought it. So now
Long story short.
Now I'm getting, so usually we have to turn the switch down in order for the light to turn on, but now both switches are the right way.
Yes. And Amy also started painting the trim on the house. So she did this before back in 2020, and she decided to start doing it again, which is nice.
Yeah, just a little more color. It just, the sun just wears it off. I mean, it's just natural wood, so I just put a little bit of color around the sides.
And today we put up the chicken.
We did put up the chicken.
So it was we sold 2 yesterday. We put 10, 16, 18 up, plus 5 for a friend, plus Amy's turkey.
Why are you calling it my turkey?
Because you're the one that hauled it across the yard.
Okay, guys. This turkey...
Whether you hunt turkey, whether you buy turkey, whether you grow your turkey. What's the biggest turkey you've ever had?
I didn't think this guy was going to be this big. I thought he was his drum was full of air or something. So I was just trying to, anyway.
Because we tried to put him in our extra large cone, and
he wouldn't fit.
We were able to get his head through and start the process that way. But one twitch and he was out and on the ground, and I was holding his feet.
I was holding his wings. He was holding his feet, and it was almost.
And one of the guys was holding Annie away.
Oh, Annie was excited. She's like, "Can I help? Can I help?" We should have weighed him right then before we plucked him. But
most people could relate to a finished bird.
They can.
Yeah. So if this was like in the grocery store, 40 pounds. 40 pounds.
40 pounds dressed.
Yeah. So you figure.
And that was with the neck off and the tail feather. The tail was huge. So I cut off the neck and I cut off the tail. It would have been 40 pounds plus had I left those on.
Yep. This guy is huge.
Yeah, I used to think a 24-pound bird was huge too. It's like, okay, that'll feed the whole family. But
what we're going to do with this particular turkey is we're going to continue to process it down, and we're going to grind it. We're going to make all ground out of it. So it's all going to be ground turkey. Whether we make turkey sausage, still haven't found the turkey bacon. Don't know where that is.
I couldn't find it either.
40-pound turkey, you'd think you're going to find the bacon, but no turkey bacon. So yeah, we're just going to grind it and make sausage, maybe some pizza sausage, some breakfast sausage. We'll see how it turns out. We're excited about that.
Well, I did already cut it down. We plucked it first some, and then I skinned it.
It's mostly plucked.
I didn't want to deal with the skin. So the skin and the carcass are actually already in the roaster. I'm making a bone broth with that. The rest of it, we have boneless, skinless breast, and actually the wings. The wings, 5 pounds for one wing.
Yeah.
10 pounds of wings. Anyway.
But so it's a fun process. So
we were very entertained this afternoon.
I know our turkeys that we did for Thanksgiving a couple years ago, they were all right around 20 pounds. We thought they were big, but yeah, 40 pounds. And I'm still working on, getting stuff out of the high tunnel. I got the red shallots out, so they are done. Red onions are out. Cauliflower is pretty much done. I harvested the rest of that yesterday.
Having some with dinner.
Good. Still got the plants. Some of the plants I got to get out, and the rest of the onions. But we're already getting some of the yellow peppers, and we're getting some of the golden bell peppers, which are great. Looking forward to that. And then we're doing the potato test still. Talked to a neighbor. They came up. They bought some chicken yesterday, and we gave them some milk. And they have round bales of hay that are old. And I asked if I could what would it cost for me to just start taking one? I'll peel it off and put it in my truck and bring it up, because I want to start putting that in the high tunnel beds, because I want to put the potatoes in and put the hay on top. I want to get the carrots in and get that going. And I want to make sure I'm doing this the same way, so because it worked. He's like, come on over, just take it. That's a blessing. So we're really excited about that.
That's working together. That's
Mhm.
community
Yes.
right there is what that is.
That is, which is nice. It's very nice and very welcome. How are things with
Iron Horse Station.
Yeah.
Well, we're still getting them
Mhm.
greens and sprouts each week.
Yep.
We
Microgreens are
delivered.
popping.
I deliver Thursday.
We delivered Thursday.
And when I got there, they were like, "We just ran out." So yeah,
Mhm.
it was good timing, and I'm sure they're going to run out over this weekend because it was busy with the
Yes.
4th.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I'm
Itchy.
itchy. It's bug season.
It is bug season. Yeah, so things are going great with Iron Horse, and we appreciate them a lot.
Mhm.
We also took a big
Greens and eggs to
Hillbilly.
Hillbilly.
So
We had another big sale with somebody in Tennessee.
Mhm.
We have another
and
upcoming sale.
the nice thing about the sale in Tennessee is this family used to be customers of ours a couple years ago,
Mhm.
and Amy reached out, and now they're customers again. So
Yeah, we just kind of lost touch
Yeah.
after milking season
Mhm.
one year, and then I never reached back out. And
Yeah.
I sent a little list of all the stuff that we have available, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, it was nice. Did that light just get bright? No, it just
I
got bright.
think so.
I don't know. So here we are. That's pretty much it for the ministry update in the farm.
Mhm.
We are using our farm store now to start storing frozen food in. All this chicken that we process is out there in one of the freezers that we bought for that. So that's nice. And we are still training the new moms
Mm.
on the milk stand. Today, Doofus got involved, and there was sheep everywhere.
Oh yeah, yep. We can't do that. And it's not like Doof was getting into the sheep. He
Nope.
just sat
You just sat
in a
there.
spot,
Yeah.
and the sheep were afraid of him.
Mhm.
And
Scattered.
it just, I think I said, no snacks for you.
Yes. It's bad enough with the babies, because the babies like to do their own thing, and then they start bouncing down the road and bouncing all over. They come in, and it works out, but yeah, not with Doofus around.
And part of me was like, can we just wait till he goes somewhere? I was thinking that in my
Mhm.
head. I'm like, but we're kind of pressed for time. Let's
Mhm.
just try this. How bad can it be?
How bad can it be? Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
The babies are huge.
Yeah, they're getting big, really big. So that pretty much wraps up the jabbering of the farm and ministry update.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. And now we're going to get into the word. That is the main reason we are here, to share the word with you. And we are, if you're new to our broadcast, we read from the NIV version, just because it's an easier read. And, being Dutch and Polish, it's difficult enough.
But we have other Bibles that we reference.
Yes,
a lot.
Yeah, there's a whole open line of Bibles over here and other books and studies and stuff. So yeah, I got to take care of that before it gets cold again.
I know. Well, he's got it on the fireplace.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pretty much my books go from here to our door, which is across the fireplace. And yeah. But anyways, so we read, and we don't generally comment. We do have some commentary or stuff here and there, but generally we do not preach on the word. If you're here in person, because this is a live broadcast, and if you're in the area and want to join us in person, you're more than welcome to join us. We do this every week at 7:30 on Sunday. And this is what we do. But we will read from Judges. We are starting in Judges tonight, so it's Judges 1. And Amy always starts us reading. And the way we do it, we go back and forth. So Amy will start, and if there's a natural break, I will take over at the natural break. If there's not a natural break and Amy gets tired, needs a drink, she will tap me and I will take over, and so on and so forth. That's about it.
Yep.
And with all that said, I'm going to turn on my light because it helps me see. And Amy, if you don't mind getting us started.
All right. Judges chapter 1. After the death of Joshua, the Israelites asked the Lord, "Who will be the first to go up and fight for us against the Canaanites?" The Lord answered, "Judah is to go. I have given the land into their hands." Then the men of Judah said to the Simeonites, their brothers, "Come up with us into the territory allotted to us to fight against the Canaanites. We in turn will go with you into yours." So the Simeonites went with them. When Judah attacked, the Lord gave the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hands, and they struck down 10,000 men at Bezek. It was there that they found Adoni-Bezek and fought against him, putting to rout the Canaanites and Perizzites. Adoni-Bezek fled, but they chased him and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and big toes. Oof. Then Adoni-Bezek... No. Then Adoni-Bezek said, 70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off have picked up scraps under my table. Now God has paid me back for what I did to them. They brought him into Jerusalem, and he died there. The men of Judah attacked Jerusalem also and took it. They put the city to the sword and set it on fire. After that, the men of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites, living in the hill country, the Negev and the western foothills. They advanced against the Canaanites living in Hebron, formerly called Kiriath Arba, and defeated Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai. From there, they advanced against the people living in Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sefer, and Caleb said, "I will give my daughter Aska in marriage to the man who attacks and captures Kiriath Sefer." Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it. So Caleb gave his daughter Aska to him in marriage. One day when she came to Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, "What can I do for you?" She replied, "Do me a special favor. Since you have given me land in the Negev, give me also springs of water." Then Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. The descendants of Moses' father-in-law, the Kenite, went up from the city of palms, went up with the men of Judah to live among the people of the desert of Judah, near the Negev, near Arad. Then the men of Judah went to the Simeonites, their brothers, and attacked the Canaanites living in Zephath, and they totally destroyed the city. Therefore it was called Perma. The men of Judah also took Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ekron, each city with territory. The Lord was with the men of Judah. They took possession of the hill country, but they were unable to drive the people from the plains because they had iron chariots. As Moses had promised, Hebron was given to Caleb, who drove him from the 3 sons of Anak. The Benjamites, however, failed to dislodge the Jebusites who were living in Jerusalem. To this day, the Jebusites lived there with the Benjamites. Now the house of Joseph attacked Bethel, and the Lord was with them. When they sent men to spy out Bethel, formerly called Luz, the spies saw a man coming out of the city, and they said to him, "Show us how to get into the city, and we will see that you are treated well." So he showed them, and they put the city to the sword, but he spared the man and his whole family. He then went to the land of the Hittites, where he built the city and called it Luz, which is its name to this day. But Manasseh did not drive out the people of Bethshan, or Tanakh, Dor, or Eblam, or Medigo, and their surrounding settlements, for the Canaanites were determined to live in that land. When Israel became strong, they pressed the Canaanites into forced labor, but never drove them out completely. Nor did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites living in Gezer, but the Canaanites continued to live there among them. Neither did Zebulun drive out the Canaanites living in Kitron or Nanathal, who remained among them, but they did subject them to forced labor. Nor did Asher drive out those living in Echo, or Sidon, or Alhab, or Akzib, or Helba, or Aphek, or Rehob. And because of this, the people of Asher lived among the Canaanite inhabitants of the land. Neither did Naphtali drive out those living in Beth Shemesh or Beth Anath, but the Naphtalites too lived among the Canaanite inhabitants of the land. And those living in Beth Shemesh and Beth Anath became forced laborers for them. The Amorites confined the Danites to the hill country, not allowing them to come down into the plain. And the Amorites were determined also to hold out in Mount Heres, Ajalon, and Shabalim. But when the power of the house of Joseph increased, they too were pressed into forced labor. The boundary of the Amorites was from Scorpion Pass to Selah and beyond.
Chapter 2. The angel of the Lord went up from Gilgal to Bochum and said, I brought you up out of Egypt and led you into the land that I swore to give to your forefathers. I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall not make a covenant with the people of this land, but you shall break down their altars. Yet you have disobeyed me. Why have you done this? Now, therefore, I tell you that I will not drive them out before you. They will be thorns in your sides, and their gods will be a snare to you. When the angel of the Lord had spoken these things to all the Israelites, the people wept aloud, and they called that place Bochum. There they offered sacrifices to the Lord. After Joshua had dismissed the Israelites, they went to take possession of the land, each to his own inheritance. The people served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua and of the elders who outlived him and who had seen all the great things the Lord had done for Israel. Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110, and they buried him in the land of his inheritance at Timnath Heres, in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaish. After that, whole generations had been gathered to their fathers. Another generation grew up, who knew neither the Lord nor what he had done for Israel. Then the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord and served the Baals. They forsook the Lord, the God of their fathers, who had brought them out of Egypt. They followed and worshipped various gods of the peoples around them. They provoked the Lord to anger, because they forsook him and served Baal and the Ashtoreths. In his anger against Israel, the Lord handed them over to raiders who plundered them. He sold them to their enemies all around, whom they were no longer able to resist. Whenever Israel went out to fight, the hand of the Lord was against them to defeat them, just as he had sworn to them. They were in great distress. Then the Lord raised up judges who saved them out of the hands of these raiders. Yet they would not listen to their judges, but prostituted themselves to other gods and worshipped them. Unlike their fathers, they quickly turned from the way in which their fathers had walked, the way of obedience to the Lord's commands. Whenever the Lord raised up a judge for them, he was with the judge and saved them out of the hands of their enemies as long as the judge lived. For the Lord had compassion on them as they groaned under those who oppressed and afflicted them. But when the judge died, the people returned to ways even more corrupt than those of their fathers, following other gods and serving and worshiping them. They refused to give up their evil practices and stubborn ways. Therefore, the Lord was very angry with Israel and said, because this nation has violated the covenant that I had laid down for their forefathers and had not listened to me, I will no longer drive out before them any of the nations Joshua left when he died. I will use them to test Israel and see whether they will keep the way of the Lord and walk in it as their forefathers did. The Lord had allowed those nations to remain. He did not drive them out at once by giving them into the hands of Joshua.
Chapter 3. These are the nations the Lord left to test all those Israelites who had not experienced any of the wars in Canaan. He did this only to teach warfare to the descendants of the Israelites who had previous battle experience. The 5 rulers of the Philistines, all the Canaanites, the Sidonians, and the Hivites living in the Lebanon mountains from Mount Baal Hermon to Labo Hamath. They were left to test the Israelites to see whether they would obey the Lord's commands, which he had given their forefathers through Moses. The Israelites lived among the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. They took their daughters in marriage and gave their own daughters to their sons and served other gods.
The Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. They forgot the Lord their God and served the Baals and the Asherahs. The anger of the Lord burned against Israel so that he sold them into the hands of the Cushan Rishathaim, king of Aram Naharaim, to whom the Israelites were subject for 80 years. But when they cried out to the Lord, he raised up for them a deliverer, Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, who saved them. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him so that he became Israel's judge and went to war. The Lord gave Cushan Rishathaim, king of Aram, into the hands of Othniel, who overpowered him. So the land had peace for 40 years, until Othniel, son of Kenaz, died.
Once again, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and because they did this evil, the Lord gave Eglon, king of Moab, power over Israel. Getting the Ammonites and the Amalekites to join him, Eglon came and attacked Israel, and they took possession of the city of palms. The Israelites were subject to Eglon, king of Moab, for 18 years. Again, the Israelites cried out to the Lord, and he gave them a deliverer, Ehud, a left-handed man, the son of Jerah the Benjamite. The Israelites sent him with tribute to Eglon, king of Moab. Now Ehud had made a double-edged sword about 1.5 feet long, which he strapped to his right thigh under his clothing. He presented tribute to Eglon, king of Moab, who was a very fat man. After Ehud had presented the tribute, he sent on their way the men who had carried it. At the idols near Gilgal, he himself turned his back and said, I have a secret message for you, O king. The king said, Quiet. And all his attendants left him. Ehud...
I love this story.
I do too. I just listened to it. It was part of the Bible in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, yeah. Ehud then approached him while he was sitting alone in the upper room of his summer palace and said, I have a message from God for you. And the king rose from his seat. Ehud reached with his left hand, drew the sword from his right thigh, and plunged it into the king's belly. Even the handle sank in after the blade, which came out his back. Ehud did not pull the sword out, and the fat closed in over it. Then Ehud went out to the porch, he shut the doors of the upper room behind him and locked them. After he had gone, the servants came and found the doors of the upper room locked. They said, "He must be relieving himself in the inner room of the house." They waited to the point of embarrassment, but when he did not open the doors of the room, they took a key and unlocked them. There they saw their lord fallen to the floor, dead. While they waited, Ehud got away. He passed by the idols and escaped to Syria. When he arrived there, he blew a trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites went down with him from the hills, with him leading them. "Follow me," he ordered, "for the Lord has given Moab, your enemy, into your hands." So they followed him down, taking possession of the fords of the Jordan that led to Moab. They allowed no one to cross over. At that time they struck down about 10,000 Moabites, all vigorous and strong. Not a man escaped. That day Moab was made subject to Israel, and the land had peace for 80 years.
After Ehud came Shamgar, son of Anath, who struck down 600 Philistines with an ox goad. He too saved Israel. The ox goad is a cool weapon. I actually did a study on it about a year ago, but I like Shamgar.
Okay, are you going to explain what it is? Or no. Okay.
Do you want to start in chapter 4?
Sure. Chapter 4. After Ehud died, the Israelites once again did evil in the eyes of the Lord. It seems like it goes back and forth.
They do go back and forth. Yeah,
back and forth.
Evil in the sight of the Lord, and then they cry out. Yeah.
So the Lord sold them into the hands of Jabin, a king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor. The commander of the army was Sisera, who lived in Harish Hagolim, because he had 900 iron chariots and had cruelly oppressed the Israelites for 20 years. They cried to the Lord for help. Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, was leading Israel at that time. She held court under the palm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites came to her to have their disputes decided. She sent for Barak, son of Abinadab, from Kedesh in Naphtali, and said to him, "The Lord, the God of Israel, commands you, go, take with you 10,000 men of Naphtali and Zebulun, and lead the way to Mount Tabor. I will lure Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, with chariots and his troops to the Kishon River, and give back to him into your hands." Barak said to her, "If you go with me, I will go, but if you don't go with me, I won't go." "Very well," Deborah said, "I will go with you. But because of the way you are going about this, the honor will not be yours, for the Lord will hand Sisera over to a woman." So Deborah went with Bazak to Kedesh, where he summoned Zebulun and Naphtali. 10,000 men followed him, and Deborah also went with him. Now Heber the Kenite left the other Kenites, descendants of Hobab, Moses' brother-in-law, and pitched his tent by the great tree in Zananim near Kedesh. When they told Sisera that Barak, son of Abinadab, had gone up to Mount Tabor, Sisera gathered together his 900 iron chariots and all the men with him, from Hareseth to Hagium to the Kishon River. Then Deborah said to Barak, "Go, this is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hands. Has not the Lord gone ahead of you?" So Barak went down to Mount Tabor, followed by 10,000 men. At Barak's advance, the Lord routed Sisera and all his chariots and army by the sword, and Sisera abandoned his chariots and fled on foot. But Barak pursued his chariots and army as far as Hareseth Hagium. All the troops of Sisera fell by the sword, not a man was left. Sisera, however, fled on foot to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, because there were friendly relations between Jabin, the king of Hazor, and the clan of Heber the Kenite. Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, "Come, my lord, right in. Don't be afraid." So he entered her tent, and she put a covering over him. "I'm thirsty," he said. "Please give me some water." She opened a skin of milk, gave him a drink, and covered him up. "Stand in the doorway of the tent," he told her. "If someone comes by and asks you if anyone is here, say no." But Jael, Heber's wife, picked up a tent peg and a hammer and went quietly to him while he lay fast asleep, exhausted. She drove the peg through his temple into the ground, and he died. Barak came by in pursuit of Sisera, and Jael went out to meet him. "Come," she said, "I will show you the man you are looking for." So he went in with her, and there lay Sisera with the tent peg through his temple, dead. On that day God subdued Jabin, the Canaanite king, before the Israelites, and the hand of the Israelites grew stronger and stronger against Jabin, the Canaanite king, until they destroyed him.
Yes.
Beth and I have talked about that one at length.
Chapter 5. On that day, Deborah and Barak, son of Abinadab, sang this song.
See.
No. When the princess in Israel take the lead, when the people willingly offer themselves, praise the Lord. Hear this, you kings, listen, you rulers. I will sing to the Lord, I will sing. I will make music to the Lord, the God of Israel. O Lord, when you went out from Seir, when you marched from the land of Edom, the earth shook, the heavens poured, the clouds poured down water. The mountains quaked before the Lord, the Son, the one of Sinai, before the Lord, the God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the roads were abandoned. Travelers took to winding paths. Village life in Israel ceased until I, Deborah, arose a mother in Israel. When they chose new gods, war came to the city gates, and not a shield or spear was seen among 40,000 in Israel. My heart is with Israel's princess, with the willing volunteers among the people. Praise the Lord. You who ride on white donkeys, sitting on your saddle blankets, and you who walk along the road, consider the voice of the singers at the watering places. They recite the righteous acts of the Lord, the righteous acts of his warriors in Israel. Then the people of the Lord went down to the city gates. Wake up, Deborah. Wake up, break out in song. Arise, O Barak. Take captive your captives, O son of Abinoam. Then the men who were left came down to the nobles. The people of the Lord came to me with the mighty. Some came from Ephraim, whose roots were in Amalek. Benjamin was with the people who followed you. From Machir, captains came down. From Zebulun, those who bear a commander's staff. The princess of Issachar were with Deborah. Yes, Issachar was with Barak, rushing after him into the valley, in the districts of Reuben. There was much searching of the heart. Why did you stay among the campfires to hear the whistling for the flocks? In the districts of Reuben, there was much searching of heart. Gilead stayed beyond the Jordan, and Dan, why did he linger by the ships? Asher remained on the coast and stayed in his coves. The people of Zebulun risked their very lives. So did Naphtali on the heights of this field. Kings came, they fought. The kings of Canaan fought at Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo, but they carried off no silver, no plunder. From the heavens the stars fought. From their courses they fought against Sisera. The river Kishon swept them away. the Ejolda River, the river Kishon. March on, my soul, be strong. 10,000 horses' hooves, galloping, galloping go his mighty steeds. Curse Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse its people bitterly, because they did not come to help the Lord against the mighty. Most blessed of women in jail, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Most blessed of tent-dwelling women, he asked for water, and she gave him milk. In a bowl fit for noble, she brought him curdled milk. Her hand reached for the tent peg, her right hand for the workman's hammer. She struck Sisera, she crushed his head, she shattered and pierced his temple. At her feet he sank, he fell, there he lay. At her feet he sank, he fell. Where he sank, there he fell, dead. Through the window peered Sisera's mother. Behind the lattice she cried out, why is his chariot so long in coming? Why is the clatter of his chariots delayed? The wisest of her ladies answered her, indeed, she keeps saying to herself, are they not finding and dividing the spoils? A girl or two for each man? Colorful garments as plunder for Sisera? Colorful garments embroidered, highly embroidered garments for my neck? All this as plunder? So may all your enemies perish, O Lord, but may they who love you be like the sun when it rises in its strength. Then the land had peace for 40 years. There's peace, they fall away. There's peace, they fall away.
They did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. It's a constant cycle.
Yeah.
And I dare to say it's a constant cycle today.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It is.
People do right, they fall away. People do right, they fall away. The country does right, falls away.
It's wrong. Falls away.
Well, at first it does right, then it falls away.
Okay. It does right then. Okay. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired. I'm hungry.
It's okay. I'm hungry too. And I was gonna soapbox a little bit, but I will refrain. It's already 20 after 8. But yeah, because a lot of pastors, around this time of year, around Thanksgiving, they like to preach on certain things. And there's, you hear them all pretty much, nope, not going to do it. But you gotta read the whole thing in context. You really do. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay. So again, we are praying for you all, whether you're ill, whether you're without power, and you're seeing this later on, whether you're dealing with the storms, dealing with the heat, just celebrating the country. There's even arguments about, are we celebrating the country in the right way? And is it really paganism? Is it a paganistic celebration? Is it not a paganistic celebration? One thing I have to say on that is that the Lord does look on the heart. He knows the intention of the heart. So, yes, there are some things that may not be right in the world. We may not do everything right as people. We don't do everything right as people. But the Lord knows our heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I think, the biggest thing, is that your heart needs to be in the right place. There's a lot of things people do that we all know it's not how you get saved. Because the only way we get saved is through grace, the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Through faith.
Yes, through faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So everything else is stuff to argue about.
And people are good at arguing
Yes.
and disagreeing.
Yes. That's why we do our best to go by the word, follow the rules here, not the man-made rules, not the man-made traditions. We are stepping farther and farther away from the man-made traditions and man-made rules and going deeper and deeper into the word and following what our Elohim says. So, with that being said, thank you all for your prayers. We need them more than anything. Thank you all for your support and your, whether it's financial or watching and hitting the like button or, subscribing, purchasing things from us or for us so that we could continue this ministry and further the gospel. It's a homestead ministry. We are the homestead ministry. We minister through food. We minister through education, through our way of life. We teach people how to put up food. If your meat's still walking around the yard, we help you get it into your freezer. I truly believe, this really hit me hard the other day. We truly do live, and I'm not saying this out of arrogance or out of anything else, but we live very close to a Levite life. Because the Levites, as we learned, as we read, did not get any inheritance. Mm-hmm. They were to be taken care of by those, and they took care of, the sacrifices and the meat processing and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we do. We are helping people, whether they're raising their own food or we're raising it for them, mm-hmm. And we get supported that way.
Yes.
But there's a different soapbox. I wasn't planning on that one either.
No, you weren't. I know we talked about it before, but
yes. But y'all stay safe out there. We're on for just over 50 minutes now, so we're gonna go eat dinner and kind of relax for the rest of the evening.
That's what I kept checking when I got up. It's like I don't want anything to burn.
Okay, y'all have a great week. Be blessed and be a blessing. Take care.